make you believe that boundary is a bad thing. And in family there's nothing called boundary, privacy and space. Everyone needs to know what's happening in everyone's life. Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about the reasons why you will never truly succeed around narcissistic parents. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So let me simplify things. I personally feel, I have worked with a lot of people, and I personally feel till the time you are in touch with your narcissistic parent, till the time they are around you, or till the time you are in some ways connected to them, you are not going to succeed. And I can honestly tell you from my own experience, they are expert in triggering you. And this is because they install certain buttons inside of you, yeah, with the help of which they trigger a response out of you. And trust me, till the time they are around, till the time you are connected to them, you are never going to heal, evolve or grow or become successful, because they will keep pressing the button, and you will keep reacting. They have their own unique way to get a response from you. Whether it's negative or positive hardly matters. All what they need is supply. All what they need is a feedback. Whether it is a negative or a positive hardly matters. They just want you in mud with them. That's it. Now, these narcissistic parents basically breed for return. So if you do things your way, or if you want to venture into something or some special career path, it's like a red flag for them, because they already have a plan for you. They already have a list of things that you need to do. They need to harvest out of you. And you exercising your autonomy, you having your own uniqueness or likingness towards certain career path or certain thing, that is something which is unacceptable. Yeah, because before having you, they had the list ready, that I'm going to get this out of the child, I'm going to get this out of the child, I'm going to harvest this, I'm going to harvest that. So before they conceived you, they had plans ready for you. Yeah. So anything which is different, anything that doesn't involve them, anything where they don't get a scope to control you, anything that might threaten their control, or anything that might make you outgrow them, is like a red flag for them. And then they are going to do all sorts of nasty things. So basically the entire goal and objective is to have you on leash, um, have you emotionally tethered to them, and just keep harvesting things out of you. They don't bring you in this world so that you can have a life of your own. Your independent life, you are getting into whatever you like, want and desire. No, they have the script ready. They have all the things ready what you need to do in this life. And they are going to set things in motion. They are going to train you to give them what they want out of you, because they brought you with a long list of expectations, do's and don'ts, rules and regulations, punishments and whatnot. So these narcissistic parents will keep pulling you down. Yeah. And this is because they fear losing control over you, and they are going to do anything and everything in their control and capacity to keep you tethered. Yeah. Even though if they are keeping you tethered, if they are manipulating you, or if they are controlling you, it's hampering your future, it's hampering your profession, it's hampering your growth. But these narcissistic parents just don't care about all of those things. All what they want is supply out of you. They know how they will harvest it out of you. That's it. So every time you do things differently, every time you try and do things in your unique way, or every time you do things that you like, you know it's like a red flag for them. Yeah, every time you take charge or you take control of your life, you are creating a kind of an impediment for them. Yeah, you are pushing them away from harvesting the supply they wanted out of you. Yeah, and that is something which they cannot forgive and forget. They are going to punish you. Yeah, and they will do all sorts of nasty things, whether it is guilt trip, gaslighting, extreme criticism, manipulation, emotional blackmail, triangulating things, summoning their flying monkeys. They have a lot of tricks. So these narcissistic parents genuinely don't want you to be successful, because becoming successful means you might outgrow, you might become independent, and they might lose control. And that's not what they have bred you for. So, till the time you are, in touch with them, till the time you are with them under the same roof, or till the time, you guys are together, trust me, things will be difficult and hard for you. Till the time I was, at home, there was no room for me to grow. I was not allowed to think out of the box. I mean, forget about growth and evolvement and other things. Yeah, I mean, material success. I was not even allowed to think, about things in a certain way. I was only allowed to think, the way how they approve of. That's it. Yeah, they had set protocols and, rules and regulations and guidelines in place, and that's it. I had to follow that. Otherwise, I would be punished. Again, they would threaten you. They are going to gaslight you. They are going to throw silent treatments, stonewall. They'll do all sorts of nasty things. And this is basically to remind you to, follow the law, rules, and regulations laid out by them. Yeah, and not to follow your heart or do what you want and desire. Yeah, so they will keep you reminded. Now, there are different ways these narcissistic parents ruin your success, or in a way you can say, they keep you away from becoming successful. The first way is that they are going to sabotage your confidence. Yeah, they will tell you things which will keep you small and dependent, and they want you to be dependent on them. Yeah, so they are never going to validate you, or praise you, or tell you that wow, you have done so well. Even though you have done things perfectly nicely, they are going to tell you, well, you could have done a little better. This is nothing. If I was given the opportunity, I would have excelled. And look at you. I mean, you are such a lazy ass. I mean, you are not making full use of the resources that we are providing you with. So they have their own unique way to sabotage your confidence. Yeah, they will gaslight you. Gaslight for these narcissistic parents is like a love language. That's how they communicate. So these narcissistic parents don't want you to become confident or feel confident, because if you feel confident, you might not listen to them, you might ask questions. Yeah, and that is something which they don't want. Yeah, so that is the reason they keep trimming your wings. Yeah, and if someone keeps trimming your wings, how are you going to fly? Yeah, you are never going to rise, you are never going to soar, you are never going to rise high. Yeah, because every time, I mean, you reach out to them for some kind of healthy validation, you are criticized, you are belittled, you are invalidated, and that again in a way ruins our self-worth and self-esteem. That really erodes our confidence, and that is how they control you. So if you're exposed to these things on a regular basis, do you think you'll be successful? No, you will have to keep slogging your ass, you will have to keep working hard, and that's it. Yeah, the entire goal is to have you on leash and not to set you free. The other way how these narcissistic parents keep you away from becoming successful in life is by constantly gaslighting your reality. And they gaslight you, to such an extent that you start doubting your own reality, your own perception, your own feeling, and your own instincts. Yeah, I mean, they in a way systematically over a period of time disconnect you from your own self. And when you are disconnected from your own self, you are easy to control. Yeah, they are going to you know uh, sow the seeds of doubt inside of you, that you may never be able to do things right without their intervention, support, or guidance. Yeah, you will always mess up things, and the best way is to seek their counsel and guidance. And I have seen in our culture, in society, around me, around other individuals as well, that there is a lot of this stress that society puts on people, that you need to listen to your elders, you need to listen to your father, you need to listen to your mother. I mean, why? I mean, why should I listen to crappy individuals? They might not be having the same kind of experience, they might not be having the same kind of knowledge, and they might not be specialized in a specific stream or genre. So why should I listen to others? I mean, why? I get it. I mean, I can seek some advice and counsel, okay, but why do I need to do things, and before doing those things, I need to counsel the elders and you know um, ask them whether I should do or not. Yeah, I need to learn from mistakes, and mistakes are no sin. But in narcissistic family, narcissistic society, narcissistic setup, mistakes are considered as an abomination, as something which is bad, evil. You shouldn't do mistake. Yeah, there's nothing that you will learn from mistake. If you do some mistake, or if you get into trouble, it is going to jeopardize our family name and honor. So everything is connected in some weird way. Yeah, your failure is connected to the family image. I personally feel I learned a great deal of things by failing and doing mistake. But in a narcissistic family, you are not allowed to learn from your mistakes. So they give you the manual. They tell you what to do, what not to do. That's how they cripple you, they micromanage, and they handicap you emotionally and psychologically, so that you cannot perform things independently. So these narcissistic parents are going to gaslight you. They will gaslight you to such an extent that you will be filled with confusion and doubt. You will be doubting your own self, your perception, your instincts, your desire, whether I should do this or not. Or maybe if I get into this, I might fail, I might lose, and that might hurt my narcissistic parent, that might hurt my mother. So the best thing is, let me ask her what I need to do. Yeah, so that's how they cripple you. You need to understand that in order to be successful, you need to have clarity, you need to have less distraction, you need to be confident, yeah, and not surrounded by confusion and doubt. Yeah, because the path towards success is with confidence and clarity. Yeah, not with individuals around you who keep pulling you down, who keep telling you, are you sure you're going to do well? Are you sure you are going to survive? Are you sure you can, do this? No, you want, such people around you who will tell you, oh, just go ahead and do. I mean, so what if you fail? You're going to learn a great deal of thing. I mean, from your failure, from the mistakes. So, I mean, don't feel shy in, making mistake. But with narcissistic individuals, narcissistic families, everything is so much intertwined that, your one action is going to, hurt them, their ego, their image at various level. Yeah, so that is the reason they cripple you from childhood. They micromanage and they train you in a manner that you keep going back to them before doing anything. Yeah, if you have some breakthrough idea, or if you have some good plan where you want to invest or do something, they are going to outrightly dismiss. Yeah, they are not going to tell you, well, I mean, give it a try, you never know, I mean, you will learn great deal of things if you try. But these narcissistic parents, they are never going to let you try new things. Yeah, and if you don't try new things, I mean, how are you going to succeed? Yeah, you need to be creative, you need to have clarity, you need to be confident, and you need to keep trying. That's how, a person becomes successful, not by, sitting and ruminating and, cribbing, and again going back to the narcissistic parent and seeking their counsel and guidance, and again just being some mediocre person. Yeah, I mean, that's not how you succeed. The other way how these narcissistic parents keep you away from becoming successful in life is by constantly resenting your growth, because in some ways or the other it threatens their control. So every time you grow, or you rise or do things independently, without their intervention and support, they are not going to laud or praise you. Instead, they are going to criticize you, or they are going to tell you, well, you could have done better. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to react and behave like a healthy individual. I mean, a healthy parent is always going to validate you. Yeah, a healthy parent is always going to praise you for every effort that you put in. With narcissistic parents, it's all conditional. If it's going to benefit them, then they are going to do some bit. But if it's not benefiting them, if it's indicating that they might lose control over you, so they're never going to praise you or motivate you or encourage you to do better. Yeah, they are going to set you up for more failure in life. Yeah, because they breed for return, and you becoming successful is something which is unacceptable. Yeah, because if you become successful, you might become independent. If you become independent, you might not look out for their validation, or you might not look out for their approval, or their input and feedback. You might do things your way, and that's it. I mean, that's how we grow and evolve. But in narcissistic families, the entire goal is to cripple you and to keep you dependent on them. So these narcissistic parents are going to shame you. They are going to tell you, you have become so big now. You hardly care about us. You hardly care about our input and feedback. Yeah, because now you have seen a lot, right? I mean, we are so old, we have seen the world, but you hardly care. You hardly care to take our feedback, suggestion and opinion. You just go about doing things your way. You hardly listen to us, though we have been on this planet for long. We have got more experience than you. So yeah, so they are going to shame you. They are not going to tell you, wow, I'm so proud of you, you are so strong, do more, we are there. I mean, go ahead and do whatever you want and rise and pursue your dream, and it's okay if you fail. Yes. Healthy parents respond differently. Narcissistic parents respond differently. They are going to guilt trip you, they are going to shame you, they are going to tell you, you hardly ask us anything, you just go about doing things. Yeah, healthy parents are going to tell you, wow, I mean, this is quite a surprise, you did so well, I'm so proud of you. With narcissistic parents, they're going to tell you, oh, okay, you hardly care. I mean, you hardly ask us anything, you hardly tell us anything. Yeah, so they don't celebrate your growth. Every time they see you growing, they're going to pull you down, they are going to drag you down. The other way how these narcissistic parents keep you away from becoming successful in life is by draining your energy with constant drama, guilt trip, chaos. Yeah, so they are not going to engage in healthy conversation, and the atmosphere at home is not going to be peaceful and calm. Yeah, all of a sudden they'll start shouting, all of a sudden they'll start fighting, arguing, and mistreating you, and they will throw a lot of tantrums. They are going to mistreat you, abuse you, and this is basically to keep you confused. And when you are in such a unpredictable environment, you are emotionally drained and exhausted. Yeah, and you need emotional stability to succeed in life. You need emotional stability to move ahead. Yeah, and do things in a better way. You need emotional stability, you need that calmness around you. But in narcissistic family, it's all drama, chaos, guilt trip, shaming, criticism, invalidation. I mean, there's nothing good. And when you are surrounded by all these negative things, trust me, you are never going to succeed. You will have a mediocre life. You will be, average or above average, but you're never going to thrive and succeed and, be happy in your life, because they will keep pulling you down. They will keep, draining your energy. You need that positive energy, to do something good. Yeah. I mean, how will you perform if you're all drained and exhausted, and you are just, thinking of ways to, fix the problem? You're all the time thinking of ways, to avoid the situation, to handle the situation, to manage the situation, to protect yourself. If all of these things are, going in your mind, there is no room to think clearly and, to do things that might make you successful in life. Yeah. For all of that good stuff, you need clarity, you need peace, you need stability, and not chaos and drama and guilt trip and gaslighting and triangulation and this and that. Yeah. Narcissistic families are like circus. Yeah. There's lots of drama, and I mean, there's nothing substantial. Yeah, it's very superficial, transactional, instrumental. Everything is masked as, care and concern from their end, whereas in, it's all manipulation. Yeah. Their smile, their happiness, their tears, everything is, to manipulate you. Yeah, it is basically to keep you on leash. So success, according to me, demands focus, clarity, peace, calmness. Yeah. And not emotional exhaustion. So if you are getting ready for the big day, to do something, or to lay foundation of some plan or some project, and your mind is just fucked up, yeah, before you are about to start that. I mean, if you are just fucked up in the head, I mean, would you be able to do good? I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, some of the enablers I have heard, say that, you know, um, my parents didn't give me this and that. It was so horrible at home, but look, we succeeded. And to tell you, that success, the success that they brag about, these enablers, narcissists, covert narcissists, or, toxic individuals, the success that they brag about, it's very material, and it's very I would say limited. Yeah. They are not having a good time on the inside. They are not peaceful, they are not surrounded by good people. It's just that in some of the cases they have acquired material possession, and that's it. That's what they brag about, that we did this, we did that, despite of all the bad things happening at home, it didn't stop us from being successful. Plus, these individuals, they want to prove that we are worthy and we are eligible to their narcissistic parents. So, they bypass everything, they let go of everything, and they just want to achieve things. Yeah. Because if they achieve things, if they reach, to a point, to a level, then they might get validation, they might bring more things on the table, and then the parent is also going to give them some validation, some crumb, some amount of love and affection. So don't get carried away when these enablers come forward and they tell you, they try and gaslight you and manipulate you into adjusting, accommodating, shape shifting, compromising, and just keep doing what you're doing, and give your best and become successful. No, you cannot create generational wealth if you are still connected or trauma bonded to those who have been giving you trauma. Yeah. I mean, you cannot create generational wealth if you are connected with those who have passed on this generational trauma. Yeah. You need to let go, you need to reset, you need to start fresh, and that's how you succeed in life. The other way how these narcissistic parents keep you away from becoming successful in life is by programming you. I have seen in a lot of cases, where the kids want to be successful, adult children of narcissistic parents, they want to succeed in life, they want to do all sorts of things, but somewhere or the other, they are scared of being successful also. Somewhere or the other, they personally feel, if I become successful, I mean, my mother might get angry. If I become successful, my father might feel threatened. If I become successful, they might not love me. I have seen this. I have seen this with a lot of individuals who have been raised by narcissistic parents. In some ways or the other, they are somewhere on the inside, they are scared of being successful. Yeah, because if they become successful, they might lose their parent. Yeah, their parent might not love them. Yeah, their parent wants to be relevant, and how can they remain relevant in their kid's life if the kid is not successful? Yeah, if the kid is confident, if the kid becomes independent and successful, they might not have that kind of control onto the child. Yeah, the child might start doing things independently, and these kids know that if I become independent, it's going to hurt my father. If I become independent and successful, it might hurt my mother. So this is a real thing. I mean, I was also there. At times I used to think that money is the root cause of all evil. That's how these toxic individuals, toxic family members, toxic individuals in the society, they actually train you, they gaslight you, they manipulate you into believing that success might corrupt you. I also had those understanding and feelings on the inside. I used to feel that if I have lots of money, people will see me as a criminal, as a bad person, as an evil entity. They might not like me. Yeah, because then I'll become different, I'll have a different life, and people might not love me. Yeah, because again, those phrases, it used to keep haunting me. Money is the root cause of all evil, and blah blah blah. All rich people are evil, and the good people are the poor one. So they distort the way how you perceive things, they distort your understanding, they distort your worldview. Yeah, they really screw you up in a lot of ways, these narcissistic parents. So these narcissistic parents, they in a way instill this feeling inside of you that you are sometimes scared of being successful, because if you are successful, your parents might not like it, your parents might get hurt. Yeah, so your version of becoming successful is basically to please them and not to do things independently. You are only appreciated, or you are only validated as a successful individual if your plan and if your life includes them, if your life is being controlled by them, if the things that you're doing is supporting them and reflecting them as a good parent, then these narcissistic parents might tell you, oh, you've done well. My that son, he's very successful. My that daughter, she's very successful. Yeah, because it is bringing good name, it is bringing money, it is bringing a lot of good things, and they are benefiting. So then they are going to validate you and maybe flaunt your success in front of the others. Yeah, but if you are successful and they are losing control over you, if you are successful and happy and it's not getting them things, if you are successful, if you are happy, and it's not in any ways reflecting them as an amazing parent, then it's a lost business for them. They are going to come at you, they are not going to spare you or leave you. And the last way how these narcissistic parents keep you away from being successful in life is by demanding loyalty over freedom, and guilt over boundaries. So if you try and uphold boundary, it's a bad thing. You need to tell me anything and everything. I get it. I mean, if you're underage, if you're not an adult, it's okay to report things to your parent. But as how you grow up, you become an adult, you need to have that space and privacy and boundary in place. Otherwise, your life is just fucked up. Yeah. But these narcissistic parents are going to make you believe that, having boundary is a bad thing. So every time you try and use boundary, you will automatically feel guilty. No, no, no. I shouldn't withhold this. I should tell her anything and everything. I should tell my parent anything and everything. Yeah. So, they are going to, make you believe that boundary is a bad thing. And in family there's nothing called boundary, privacy and space. Everyone needs to know what's happening in everyone's life. Yeah. And of course, I mean, narcissistic parents are the ones who prefer to pull the strings. You're not allowed to pull your own string. They want to keep pulling the string till the time you are alive or till the time they are on this planet. So these narcissistic parents are going to guilt trip you, and they are going to make you believe that if you pursue your freedom, if you try and become independent, you are not being loyal to your family. And then they are going to throw a lot of different statements and phrases at you. Oh, you have forgotten, since the time you have got job you hardly care about us. I mean, you're making just a little money, and look, you hardly listen to me. Since the time you are earning, you hardly care about me. I mean, you are making money and you're all by yourself. I mean, you just don't need your parents anymore. Yeah. I mean, but we never left you when you were child, when you were small. We never left you. And I mean, it in a way, these kind of talks and these kind of statements, it actually catches us off guard. Yeah. And then we start thinking, am I being selfish? Am I being mean? Am I being ignorant? Am I being bad? Or I should just, leave all of this and just let them in and just, keep doing things that, makes them happy. Yeah. Narcissistic parents are expert in making you doubt your own feelings, your perception. They are going to make you doubt your own actions. Yeah. And they are going to make you doubt the others as well. Yeah. So that, they are always there, like a savior, to rescue you and to save you. Look, I told you. I mean, you should have asked me, but you hardly care. You hardly ask me. Since the time you've got a job, you hardly care about your poor parents. You're busy with your girlfriend. You're busy with your wife. You hardly care about us. So that's how they keep, reeling you back in. That's how they keep, pulling you back in the system. Yeah. They don't want you to grow, evolve, you know, um, because then they are going to lose their supply source. Now, in order to become successful, you know you need to be free. In order to be successful, you need to you know try a lot of things. In order to be successful, you need to be free from any kind of emotional burden. You cannot build a wonderful future, and you cannot be successful if you are stuck in a prison. I mean, in your narcissistic family. How are you going to grow, evolve? How are you going to work on yourself? How are you going to heal yourself? Yeah. You're not, because you're stuck in that prison, which we call family, narcissistic families. So you're never going to succeed till the time you have all these emotional backlogs, baggages. So till the time the control is in their hand, till the time you have them around you, forget about becoming successful. You will have a mediocre life, and that's how you are going to die. I know people might say that, Sarah, no, this is not how it is. But trust me, I mean, you guys can lie to each other, but with my experience, my personal experience, and working with a lot of individuals, they really damage you. Yeah. Until the time they are around you, or if you spend more time with them, you will never be successful. You will just be mediocre, average, and that's it. Yeah. Sometimes they might bait you and throw some crumbs. Oh, my son is so good. Oh, my daughter is so good. And all of it is basically to reel you back, They don't want you to become successful, I mean, exponentially. They don't want you to evolve, grow, and expand. They don't want that. Yeah, they want you to expand if they are included. They want you to become successful if you're still emotionally, complacent, and emotionally, enslaved and controlled by them. Yeah, then they are going to allow you, to try and, be successful. It's all, interlinked and intertwined. If they are harvesting things out of you, they might tell you that you are successful even though you are not. Yeah, but they will tell you. This is their way of throwing some crumb, so that, you feel good, you feel appreciated, and you feel validated. My mother, you know said that, I'm doing well, I'm doing better than my sister. Yeah, and that's how they control you. That's how they manipulate you into doing more and more and more. And they're not going to validate you every now and then the way how healthy individuals do. They're going to validate maybe twice a year, once a year, and, we keep doing more and more like puppy. We keep doing more and more, so that, we get that response from them. Yeah, and that creates that addiction cycle. They will, withhold love and affection. They are going to criticize, minimize, invalidate, and then one day they are going to, tell you, oh, this is nice. Look, after all, he's my son. Look, after all, she's my daughter. And we get carried away. We are like, wow, finally we are seen and heard. Finally, I got it, from my mother. I got it from my father. Yeah, but to tell you honestly, it's not substantial. It's very superficial, and it's not even validation and appreciation. It's crumb. Yeah, so stop falling for crumbs and wake up and, work on yourself. Yeah, the first step towards recovery is, going no contact. There is no other way. A lot of crappy therapists and coach that I get to hear on social media, they're coming up with all of the wonderful ways: low contact, pink rock, this rock, gray rock, using boundary. You cannot, use anything with these monsters. These are evil individuals. They'll keep violating boundary. They'll keep, siphoning the good out of you. Yeah, the only way you can heal, succeed, and grow in life is if you run away, if you go no contact. Because, I mean, till the time you are with them, you are emotionally, chained. You are in an emotional prison. Yeah, and I mean, don't fall for, all those things that, enablers and individuals and, some of these crazy, coaches and therapists tell you that if you use boundary, you can, succeed in life. No, they will keep finding ways to hurt you. They will keep finding ways to trigger you. You need to understand, you need to have a calm, regulated nervous system in order to perform and do well. If your nervous system is effed up, you're not going to succeed. So yes, these were some of the ways how these narcissistic parents, keep you away from becoming successful and becoming independent. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.